1.
Okay. Hey, this is Matthew Keene with the Tapped Out Games Report. Today, let's see, we have Asian Matt here with us today, who's choosing not to be on camera.
Thanks.
And I want to talk about the new Type 2 Revolution.
He has a small penis.
No, he does not. And it's always censored. So you can't tell. He's just got one big pixelated nub. Anyways. Damn it, I hate censored Asian porn. But they never shave so.
I know, it's all blurred out. What the fuck? I want to see some chick get raped on a train, you know?
It's always molestation with those guys. No tentacles needed. Wow. Can you edit molestation? I don't want to.
No, I'm sorry, it's in there.
Fuck.
Well, fuck, you just said fuck.
Alright. Clapping it out. Alright. Not working. Top 16 of Star City Games basically brought a new Type 2. I can kind of say it almost ended the Jun Menace. My previous estimation, if you take a top 8, would be 50% Jun, was wrong. We do have 30% of the top 16, including a new take on Jun, which is Lotus Jun, which features a lot more fetches and Lotus and Ob Nixilis and that sort of thing, but basically seems to play out like the regular Jun. I haven't tested it myself. And the rest are pretty straightforward Jun Dagros. That makes up 5 of your top 16. I think 2 are in the top 8, and that's about 30% of the field. The next most popular is the Boros Red Deck Wins, which is comprised, there's 4 if I combine them. There's 3 Boros, 1 Red Deck. That's about 25% of the field. Thanks, math. There's really no new innovation with either of the decks. The Red Deck that was in there was playing like the one that did well at the last 5K with the really odd card Obsidian Fireheart that I don't understand yet. But I would like to try, and if anyone has any information on Obsidian Fireheart, whether it's good or not, please post a reply. I know Squeak won our game day with 2 copies in the deck, I believe. After that, we have a Eldrazi Green, which was the winner. Todd Anderson and his wife making the cutest top 8 couple. One of the Jack.
What are you talking about? They're ugly.
How many couples that made the top 8 is the question. I could put a pile of shit in a barrel and say it's the best thing in a barrel if it seemed like in a barrel.
Touche, my friend, touche.
But
yeah,
not to
well,
be insulting, that's going to be taken wrong.
She's a beast.
She's not.
A beast
I'm on
is.
PR, so I can't agree.
What does that mean?
It's a dinosaur.
Oh, because she's a beast?
Yes. But Eldrazi Green, which is kind of like the deck we've been talking about, the AJ's White deck. But it puts the Eldrazi's in the main, which is, of course, the main point. But it seems to really take advantage of the acceleration from the elves, like Archdruid, Llanowar Elves, and Noble Hierarch. And then pumps out as many tokens as it can with Ant Queen, or a minor amount with Garruk, plus Nissa Ravine. And it seems to do exactly what your deck does, but just faster. Not necessarily better, because when I tested my version of the mono white tokens, where I put monuments in the main and whatnot, I think the white can do it better because it just produces a lot more than it can, and catching up shouldn't be a problem, especially with Baneslayers, and the green version has no removal. So that's Eldrazi Green, and you also had a green-white version of Eldrazi that just seemed to put in white for removal, like Harm's Way Path and I think Oblivion Ring. So nothing important there aside from what I already said. And out of that, we also had 2 not rogue decks, but 2 other decks. One is actually rogue, I'd say. But it's a Grixis Unearthed deck that features cards like Extractor Demon and Hellspark Elemental and Sidractus Spectre. And that somehow broke the top 16. I don't know why, but it kind of sucked for me.
Probably got lucky.
Maybe. Good matchups. But there's 340 people there, so that can only be so much. Maybe a good first 3 rounds. But I wasn't there, so I couldn't elaborate. And lastly, a White Weenie deck, which just doesn't seem strong to me, but I made it better than I ever have. So really, what I'm trying to get at is, it seems Jun's reign is over. It got 2 spots out of the top 8, I think 4th and 7th. And let's not forget, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot 5-color Cascade, which is like Cascade Desire. It basically says any spell will turn into more spells, which will probably end with a Lightning or an Esper Charm.
Right, their target, and it cascades all the way down to Blightning or Esper Charm.
Yeah,
it's the only
so
targets.
The end result will always be an additional 2 cards, one way or the other.
Right, or Baneslayer.
Or Baneslayer, sorry. Which is also pretty good and can't be handled too well on its own. But that seems to be the new Type 2. So I hope you get ready for it. We got states coming up, so definitely be prepared for Eldrazi Green type decks. Make sure you can destroy the monument. Definitely still keep Jund in mind, but obviously not as much because everyone's out to beat it. Red deck wins is always a contender because it does what it's supposed to do, 20-0. It's the closest thing they have to a combo deck right now. And 5-color Cascade. So we got 4 decks kind of doing the paper, rock, scissors thing, and I hope that keeps up. I hope we can innovate more decks, but that's the Type 2 right now, and that's the end of my report.